Verdansk is back in Warzone, and so is the battle for the best gaming CPU. Today we're putting up AMD's 7800X3D up against the 9800X3D to see just how much of a difference a generation makes. Both CPUs are known for insane gaming performance, but is the upgrade actually noticeable in real gameplay? I've got side-by-side numbers from identical runs from 1080 to 1440 and 4K to break it all down, so let's get into it. For this comparison, I use the exact same system for both CPUs, the only difference is the chip itself. We're running a 9070 XT paired with 64GB of DDR5 at 6000 CL30 with tightened secondary and tertiary timings on an AORUS Extreme X670E motherboard. The 7800X3D is running a -30 undervolt, and the 9800X3D is running a +200 boost clock override and a -40 undervolt. To isolate CPU performance, I used an optimized low textures preset with FSR4 that helps eliminate GPU bottlenecks as much as possible. I tested in Battle Royale casual mode, dropping at the same spot each time, northeast of the dam, and followed the same path through these 3 cabins nearby. Each CPU was tested 3 times per resolution at 1080, 1440, and 4K, and I averaged those numbers for a clean head-to-head comparison. Alright, so here's a breakdown of the numbers. At 1080, the 9800X3D hit an average of 347 FPS, leading by 25% over the 7800X3D. It also pulled ahead with 28% stronger 1% lows and 22% better 0.1% lows, making for noticeably smooth gameplay on both systems actually. The numbers were higher obviously on the 98, but in actual game feel, I couldn't tell the difference between the two because the numbers were so high on both. In 1440, the 9800X3D maintained its edge, 22% higher average FPS, 27% higher 1% lows, and a 16% improvement to 0.1% lows. Even at 4K, where the GPU starts to weigh in more, the 9800X3D still held a 6.7% lead in average FPS, along with 9% better 1% lows, and an 8.4% bump to 0.1% lows. So, is it worth upgrading from the 78 to the 98? If you're already running a 7800X3D, you're still in an excellent place. Yes, the 98 is faster, especially in 1080 and 1440, and the numbers are clearly higher, but in actual gameplay, the difference is really tough to feel because the 7800X3D already delivers insanely high frame rates in this title. Right now, the 9800X3D is selling for around $480, while the 78 can be found for around $400. That's roughly a 20% price difference. In return, you're getting about 20 to 25% better performance in 1080 and 1440 in Warzone. That does make it a solid value if you want the absolute best performance. In 4K, the gap narrows a bit, the GPU becomes more of a bottleneck, and you're only seeing about 7 to 9% gains for that same 20% price bump, so the value proposition dips a bit there. If you're building a brand new system, considering the prices today, I'd recommend going with the 9800X3D. It gives you more performance headroom and longer legs for future titles. Let me know in the comments, do you think the 9800X3D is worth the jump, or is it better to wait another generation before replacing the 7800X3D? If this video helped, please consider dropping a like and subscribing for more comparisons like this. It really helps the channel grow. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.